So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Chill Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're going to talk about the brand new album by Steven Wilson-The Harmony Codex. And why, do you ask, am I wearing these glasses? Because I think they make me look more intellectual and prog as fuck. So, besides the glasses, this is, Steven Wilson, for those of you that don't know, he's in Porcupine Tree, but he also has been a solo artist for some years now. He has had some great solo albums like the Raven That Refused to Sing, and my personal favorite, Hand Cannot Erase. This is a beautiful album and my favorite from him. And after that, he released To the Bone and The Future Bites. To the Bone was okay, it has some good tracks, but Future Bites I really did not enjoy at all. So how does he change his sound with the Harmony Codex? Because Steven Wilson is always tinkering and every album has its own vibe and its own flavor. So this album, I think, is a combination of Hand Cannot Erase with parts from To the Bone and a little bit of Future Bites. It's very rooted in electronic elements, and a month ago in London there was like a presentation to hear this album in surround system, and two YouTubers that I know, the Metal Tris and Mary's Music Taste, got invited and got to listen to this album the way it's intended to be listened, as an immersive prog rock experience, and I am a little jealous. Steven, why wasn't I invited? Is it because I live in Puerto Rico? You could have sent a jet, and I would have gladly gone on that jet, gone to London, listened to your album as an immersive experience, and thank you for it. Is it too much to ask? Come on, Puerto Rico's not that far. So yeah, I didn't get invited. At least you should have invited my friend, the Green Man. He lives in London and he's very proper. So I wasn't invited. But let me talk about this album anyway. So yes, I think this is an immersive rock experience that I so wish I could have listened to in that way, like with surround system in the dark, because the album is full of musical layers. Like every time you listen to it, you find something different. And I can't say that this is an album of singles. Yes, it has singles, but I think you need to listen to this album from beginning track until the end track. So from Inclination all the way until Staircase. Like, this is not a record to skip. This is a record to listen full, like a lot of like progressive rock albums should be. Like when I think of progressive rock albums that you need to listen from beginning to end, I think of Operation Mindcrime by Queensryche. I think of Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, and The Wall. And with records by Steven Wilson, I almost feel like this exact same thing. And also his other band, Porcupine Tree. Yes, they have some cool standout tracks here. I think Economies of Scale, which was one of the lead singles that they use, has a really cool like electronic beat with piano, and it's really sounds like Phil Collins meets Peter Gabriel, but it's Steven Wilson. And I like how he goes like economies of scale. It's a quite simple track, but really earwormy, and that one really works, unlike some of the tracks that he had on Future Bites that for me, like personal shopper, did not work at all. Inclination starts like very slow and electronic, and Steven Wilson doesn't sing until like 4 minutes in the song, and that's something very interesting here. This is an album that Steven Wilson sings, but he pulls back. There's more instrumentation than singing on this album, and I think it's quite interesting. Sometimes there can be so much singing, but this album, I think if you take away the singing and it's just like a instrumental piece of music, it would work as well. Rock Bottom, I think is one of the standouts because it features Ninette Tayeb, and she's a singer that has worked with him on other albums, and I just love her like beautiful voice, and it always gives like an extra like feeling to the songs that she's featured. And I think Rock Bottom with the electronics and the way Ninette sings, it's just a beautiful track. There's more like jam sessions on this album, like Impossible Tightrope, which is like a 10-minute opus, and it feels like a jam. And you hear saxophone, you hear piano. It really feels like the band is just like improvising, and they record that. And that improvisation really pays well in this track because it feels like you're tiptoeing on a tightrope. So it's a great track. Actual Brutal Facts, I just love that title. It's another track that mixes a lot of what he did with Hand Cannot Erase with that electronic feel, and you hear there's faint a woman talking in some of the parts of the song, and also Staircase. And I like it when he does that because it really gives it like a cinematic type of feel to the songs. And Staircase, really closes the album on a very high note, beautiful track to end the album on. And in conclusion, the Harmony Codex is a step up from the Future Bites, and I think it's the best album that he has released since Hand Cannot Erase. Is it better than Hand Cannot Erase? No, but it's still Steven Wilson doing a great progressive rock album, and I think he is using electronics in a way that really blends with the rock and not takes over. And the Harmony Codex is an album that it's meant to be listened from beginning to end as an immersive experience, which sadly I wasn't invited to, but oh well. So what did you think of Steven Wilson, the Harmony Codex? Did you think it was a return to form with Steven Wilson? Do you like electronics and prog rock mix in your progressiveness, or do you prefer your prog rock to stay more in the rock side of things? Comment, what are your favorite tracks, or do you think like me that this is an album that should be listened from front to back? And if you like the videos I'm putting out, do not forget to give me a like, and do not forget to subscribe. I have more content on the way. So until next time, this is Hector, the Shield dude on a couch. I can hardly see with these fucking glasses. And I'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.